Hello, good afternoon. I'm Tori with the Center for Clairvoyant and Psychic Development, and I just felt the need to come on today, put my bowl down, to talk about the difference between a clairvoyant reading, which is what I do and teach, and an oracle card reading or an angel card reading, which I also do. I integrate it into the clairvoyant reading, but I just like to uh, let you know what the difference is. There is a big difference, and I like to consider a clairvoyant reading to be spirit to spirit communication, but it's probably not what you think. It's not me as a spirit communicating to all the spirits around you. That's what a lot of people think a reading is about. They sit there and I'm just going to tell them about all the spirits around them. That's actually secondary to the purpose of the healing in a clairvoyant reading. A clairvoyant reading is a spirit-to-spirit communication or validation. You've probably heard that there is that voice inside of you that is listening to the voice that's complaining or worried or full of anxiety, and you've been told actually there is a voice inside of you that's truly you, you the spirit, having a human experience. And that's what a clairvoyant reading does. It's a spirit to spirit communication, like namaste. My spirit, the one that's listening to everything going on, the true me, is saying hello to the true you. So it's a very powerful and very precious healing and communication, a clairvoyant reading. So they're not often done in public and in galleries, and for me to communicate that intensely with somebody just randomly on a Facebook Live. I also, people say, I'm coming for a reading. Can my mother sit in? Can my friend just sit in? It's different than that. It's a very focused, it's a very focused hello to the person that I'm reading. And so sometimes really specific things come up that can make you cry or release. And it's wonderful just to have the room all to yourself and have it private and personal. So I always say a clairvoyant reading, if you're coming for one, you can have your perhaps a relative or a spouse be in, but then it's a couples reading. Then it's a reading about the two of you in your relationship, so that you're both connected in the reading. Otherwise, having an audience for your reading kind of takes you out of the reading. You're not quite able to hear it or have the healing or really receive it. The first time I had a clairvoyant reading, I was 18 years old and I was at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. I was in college and I went to get a reading from students in the school called the Berkeley Psychic Institute in California. And I remember feeling very different most of my life, very on the fringe because I was very sensitive and shy, and I just felt everything and just knew things about people, and then I'd be sad. I was the student in class that would just feel bad for the teacher if the teacher was having a bad day, but really hard for me to speak and shy. And I found that I was just very, very sensitive, overly sensitive. And when I went to the Berkeley Psychic Institute for a reading, this line of students said, "Oh gosh, we see you. Look at all those talents and skills that you have. You're a psychic." And I realized these are my friends. This is my community. So what I like to create in my Center for Clairvoyant and Psychic Development is an incredible place where we all communicate directly to each other's spirit. And it's so validating because that time back when I was young and I joined the Berkeley Psychic Institute, I finally felt seen because all children want to be seen as old souls. They're just having this new human experience and their bodies are young, but their souls are old. They come with so much information, and we did too. It's just that over time as we grew up, we just we felt invalidated, not truly seen for ourselves. So a clairvoyant reading is really wonderful because I get to sit across from you in the reading and I get to tune into you. And my first thing I do is I have mastered the ability to tune into your auric field, your energetic field, and read all the images in your aura. But I first go into your heart to see what your purpose is. What is your true calling? We call it the God of your heart. So I see you as a spirit before you got here. And what was your intention? What is your skill? What is it that you wanted to do this lifetime? And I give that message to you, about what I see for you. And this usually is unexpected in the reading. They don't really realize this is how deep we can go. And then from the heart, we look at what your commitments are to your work and to your world and your dreams and your goals. And then we look at all the connections that you have. And it's that point that perhaps spirits around you, from guides and angels that are around you, that are assisting you. Now, we're all born into this human experience as spirits. I'm speaking to all of you spirit to spirit now. So you know this, I'm just reminding you that we're born into this experience with our own GPS system. And I call it our personal GPS system. You know, everything in our world mimics what's happening energetically for us. So the GPS system, I say it operates about 30,000 feet above us, and it's all these beautiful guides. And they're so bright that they're at 10,000 watts. We don't even see their faces. They're high-level spirits that are assigned to you, that we call them guardian angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and they are very neutral too. When you connect with them, you're just neutral and you have the light come to you. It's just pure information and love. And they're directing you. They're giving you signs and messages, but we cannot access our intuition, our GPS. You know, from the crown chakra up, it's hard to access our GPS if we don't have any validation. We don't get a hello to our spirit. We're so obsessed with getting a hello. No one sees me, that we forget who we are, and then our self-esteem is very low. So as soon as you get a clairvoyant hello, spirit to spirit, I see you and I see what you're all about and I see your power. I see beyond all the things that you're staring at and you're obsessed with, and I see the truth, then it stimulates your ability to connect with your own GPS system. Now, when we have an angel card reading or an oracle card reading, I like to use Ascended Master Oracle cards. It's wonderful to bring spirits in around people, and it's wonderful to say, I hear one of your angels telling you this. What we're still doing is we're detaching that person still from their own GPS system, their own. So we always want to communicate to the person first about who they are. I see you, and then help them make a connection to the GPS system, all their guides that are tuned in and working with them. And that even includes an Akashic Records keeper. We work with the Akashic Records. And then help interpret and help them as they're getting their self-esteem about their own listening to interpret the messages. That's what a clairvoyant reading can include. And so I always include that. So what I say the difference is between a clairvoyant reading and an oracle card reading is that a clairvoyant reading is going to say hello and validate spirit, spirit to spirit. An oracle card or angel card reading does do that, but real indirectly. And so it lends itself to a big public scene, and other people can listen in. And it also lets us validate that we're spirits having spirits having human experiences together, and it makes us feel good. But I find that a clairvoyant reading and the way that I do an oracle reading inside of the clairvoyant reading helps to empower the person. So after they leave, they feel lighter, more clear, hopeful about their life, because we've seen and cleared so much. I've given some clairvoyant tools and techniques to use right away. And I've demonstrated and helped them understand how to connect with their own GPS system, because you can see how simple it is to do that. So if I'm going to work with somebody in a reading, the way that we start is to simply, I like to connect them to their guides first, to show them that they have their own GPS system, and I can show them how to connect to it and then even help them interpret it. And what I find is that when we do the connection, which I'm going to demonstrate with you next, for that person's own GPS system, and then we pull the cards. I have them pull the cards. I don't pull the cards, they do. When they pull the cards, after they've made a connection and a intention with their guidance, I can see the light goes on in them, like, oh, that does make sense. Like you can already get guidance. And when it comes to having a reading, a mediumship reading, because that's really popular right now, um, I definitely will communicate with deceased loved ones that are around you. And I do that after I say hello to you. It's like I pull the camera back to see the big picture of you as a spirit on your path, what you're here to do, all your relationships that are enhancing you, that are helping you grow and transform, and who's connected to your heart, who you're committed to. And then in that context, is where we see deceased loved ones that you would like to get communication from. And I do offer that communication inside the reading for you. And I offer these communications from deceased loved ones only if they're there to help you with your purpose, and always giving it context so you feel really whole and complete at the end of the reading, not wondering when can I talk to this spirit again. You're more like, oh, I see where I can release and let go and be more calm. And then I even give you a way to communicate with your deceased loved one after the reading, so you're more independent. Uh, so it's not like a telephone call all the time. Um, so let's see. Oh, I like to, hi Arlene. I'm glad that you're saying hello. If you're on and you'd like to say hello, please say hello so I know you're there. But I love doing Facebook Live because it puts me on the spot to talk. And I love questions. So if you have any, I'm going to demonstrate um, how I begin a clairvoyant reading. I like to incorporate the oracle card reading into the clairvoyant reading because I'm a teacher and I want to make sure you know, hey, this is how you connect to your own GPS system. And I consider your guidance to be primary to my guidance. And I want to make sure that we get the messages that, hi Jessica, I want to make sure that you get the messages that are in the framework of what they want me to say. So we always frame the reading, I call it, with cards from Ascended Masters. I like to use Ascended Masters. Oh, Eliza, you're homesick. Oh, uh-oh. I hope you're going to get well soon. Good to see you. Hi, Sharon. So what I like to do is, if you're willing and you're not driving or doing something where you can't close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. Just take a deep breath. And this is how I start readings. There's part one and part two. This is part one of my readings when you come to me or on the phone or Zoom. So you close your eyes, and I'd like your hands to rest in your lap, your feet on the floor so you're grounded. Your hands are in a receptive place with your palms up. Bring a smile to your face, and you're breathing. The smile helps you detach from all the drama that you fall into, that we all fall into. When we smile, we just make separations and we find our amusement, and then we have our space. These are all tools I learned 30 years ago at the Berkeley Psychic Institute, and they have helped me immensely. And these are the ones I teach now. So, and they're ancient tools, so I'm reminding everyone. Take one hand and place it on top of how warm it is there. That's called your crown chakra, or the seventh chakra. It's where our guidance system plugs in. That's why it's warm. It's like a beam of light. Let your hand rest in your lap again, but keep your attention with your smile at your forehead and your top of your head. Bring it up to the top of your head. And then just for fun, you're just going to imagine that you can follow that beam of light all the way up into the sky. And I like to stay in the Earth's atmosphere. Let's go up to 30,000 feet. Where airplanes fly. And that's where your guides are. And imagine one or more are there. They've been waiting for you to consciously connect. And this is how quick it happens. They're right there. And silently from the center of your head, you say to these guides, I'm listening today. Please let me know my next steps, how you're guiding me, validating me, sending me to my best possible outcome for this lifetime with my best possible connections and learning about love and connection and validation this lifetime. And ask them to send their 10,000 watts of light, so you don't even see their faces. They're just very high vibration presences. And you ask them to send their light right into your hands. because how they answer you is light. And we'll do one beam in the left and one beam in the right hand. Beam through. And then you can open your eyes, but you notice that your hands are now full of light and they're vibrating. You can even see the chakras in your hands. Hey, Susie. Hi, Silvestro. Then what I have my readee do is when they open their eyes, they're going to see that I have some oracle cards. And I love these Ascended Master oracle cards. Doreen Virtue made these years ago because I wanted to see who the Ascended Masters are. They're all the beings throughout history that have ascended, meaning they have reached a point where they are here to just assist us in our ascension. So they live on high. They live up there at 30,000 feet. So these are the kind of guides that live there. And then because we have two hands, I tell my readee, you get to choose two cards, and our nervous systems can handle about two big ideas a day or sometimes a week or a month, because our nervous systems have, that's the light, have to bring in that much truth and shift things around so that we can live it and create our world through a new truth, because we do have access to change. Even if we're older, we can completely change, but our nervous system has to be in agreement to it. So sometimes we have to go slower, sometimes we can go faster. When somebody can't handle big concepts or they're skeptical, they're literally blowing a fuse. Their nervous system is blowing a fuse. It's too much light, too much information. But all of you that are listening today can handle the light. So this is how I start a reading. I start a reading by having the person draw an oracle card after they've connected to their own source, their own GPS guidance system, and they choose the card, and then my job is to interpret the cards for them. So let's see. So would anyone like to, if you did that meditation with me and your hands are vibrating, would anyone like to choose the two cards? And I will tune into you, and this is how we have to do it online, and we know everything is real, it's all good. I will choose the two cards through your vibration with your intention that this is from yours. Anybody that's on like to do this, to be my volunteer? Aliza, would you like to? And that way I'll help you interpret what your guides want you to know about today. Aliza is one of my students, so. Yay. Hello? Okay, well, I'm going to pull two cards just as a demonstration. And since Aliza said, yes, good, thank you. Aliza, I knew she would. So Aliza, you went ahead and connected, right, to your guides. And just going to pull two cards. Good, Aliza, thank you. Always need permission. And here's one, and here's two. So a reading for Elisa today would start with the framework with the oracle cards deemed by her guides to be the most important thing. Oh my goodness. Elisa, you get teacher and listen, which I love. The teacher is a name it's hard to pronounce. This is an Ascended Master, Mahochin Ragosi. And this listen is Manjushri. Okay, you see they're from different religions. Wow. And Aliza is a teacher anyway, so this makes a lot of sense. And awesome. In this initial part of my reading, when you pull cards like this, I'm here to interpret what your guides want you to do more of with this. I know, right, Elisa? This is perfect for you. And you know, it looks like, Elisa, you're being put in more of a teacher role than a counselor role more often, and actually a counselor to the teachers even more than the children that you're in this school, especially around this virus and everything going on. And it looks like your listening has got, because the the listen card is coming up for you, that you're being asked to raise your vibration, and this is about learning, learning some new techniques and actually using them to help others listen. So you're being asked to, you're healing the teachers, they're acknowledging that, and you're healing and becoming a teacher and helping people listen. So yes, you're a counselor in a school, but you're supposed to listen to others, but you're also, it looks like, going to be teaching people how to listen, like even workshops on how to listen better. And I know we have mindfulness in schools now, but it's like because of all your new training and the things you're doing, you have a new way to teach about listening, and listening to yourself and that inner voice. And Eliza, these are fantastic cards for you. And do these resonate with you, Eliza? The teacher and listen? Sorry, you have to write. It's a little different than when we're together and you can talk to me. Anything you want to say, Eliza, about these cards? So funny being on Facebook Live listening to cards. Hmm. Well, energetically, I can hear you. Yes. Oh, good. Yes, that is amazing. Both of those are exactly what I do. Yes. And now I'm trying to work with students who are impulsive to listen more. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. And when I see you, hopefully this week, and you're feeling better, we can talk about that because yes, about grounding and doing some fun things because I was a teacher with kids, cleaning out their ears and playing around with that, like energetically cleaning out their ears, doing some ritual that reminds them to stop and listen and breathe. So yes, Eliza, this, just because I know you, this is awesome for you. The teacher and listen is a good communication from your guides. And then after we do this, I put this on an altar behind me as I do the reading so that these are framing the reading. So now the second part of the reading is me connecting directly to you. So if Eliza's sitting across from me, we know that if she remembers anything from the reading, it's about being a teacher and listening, and about listening because she's in a teacher position in her life, counselor, teacher, and that listening is the theme. And so, but within that, I'm going to then help read her everything that's going on for her, and her purpose, her commitment, who she's healing, where her energy's going, and ways to retrieve her energy, creating clarity. And if there's spirits around her that want to say hello, we'll do that too. And then asking her to ask questions. Any questions she has, then I'm able to read the questions, give her insight. Maybe sometimes we'll ask a question and the question, there's a different question she actually is asking. So that's a clairvoyant's job. And since I've been doing this for 33 years, it's very easy for me to look right into the heart of things. And let's see, Eliza. Yes, also I feel like my job is a combination of teaching and listening since I'm a counselor, and that is perfect. Yeah, I mean, if I hadn't met her before, I wouldn't know how perfect these are for her, but I just know they're so perfect for you, Eliza. These are yours. And thanks for letting me do this. Readings are very private and personal, and so I'm always grateful when someone's willing to, like we have students come and people come for my students to practice reading on, and I'm always very, very grateful because these are very personal things that are going on with you. And oh, Elisa says the comments are delayed. Yes, I know the computer does what it does, but we're grateful for it because we can join like this. And so once we begin the reading, then I have the opportunity then to address everything about you in the reading with these as the framework. And then we take a picture of these at the end and you leave with your, that's how I incorporate oracle cards. Let's see. Great to see so many people that are joining. I know I'm on in the middle of the day, and some people will just be watching the replay, but I just felt the urge to come on and talk about this because it is important to do uh, have an oracle card reading, it is a wonderful experience to have angel messages. But just keep in mind that the person receiving the angel messages um, may have some low self-esteem or not validated as a spirit. So it gives some validation, but then we want to validate the person directly. I've had some people come for a reading with me and say, I don't want you to read me, just read the spirits around me. I don't want to hear about me. But the only important person sitting in the room with me is the person that I'm reading. Because you are a spirit, needs validation, needs a hello. And so I tell my students that one of the most important words we use is hello. We're saying hello to spirit. We're saying hello to ourselves. And this is that important voice. I know Michael Singer was just reading the Surrender Experiment and the Untethered Soul. Thanks, Silvestro. And what the most important thing is to start to listen to just your true voice. Who are you? You're the listener. Who's the listener doing the listening of the critical comments? Who are you inside of there? And it's like if we're a beautiful light inside, but nobody sees us. And a reading is such a beautiful opportunity, a clairvoyant reading, to just say, my light inside of me says hello to your light inside of you directly. And from there, then all the spirits around you, after I say hello to you and we acknowledge your spirit and what you're creating on your path, and then we acknowledge all the relationships that are affecting you and that perhaps you have some loose ends and some karma with somebody, or is a soulmate, or you're looking to connect. All those things are secondary to getting a hello to your source, the God of your heart. And so that's I always start the reading with an oracle card reading to help you connect to your spiritual guidance system, just so you know it's there and that it can be done. And then you could even do it at home later on your own. Because the goal of my clairvoyant readings is to make sure you leave with some tools and techniques you can use after the reading. So sometimes I'll find the person is having trouble being grounded, so I'll offer that tool. Or even finding a neutral place in the center of their head. They're too emotional, or clairsentient, just soaking everything in. Making someone aware of what's going on. The awareness is 99% of the change. So once you're aware of something, you can't go back. You're changing. You're already aware and doing something different. So the big difference, clairvoyant reading is the ability to say, hi Nadine, the ability to say hello and give validation to another spirit, spirit to spirit validation. And of course I'm doing the reading. I feel validated every time I validate another spirit. It's like taking a candle, lighting it, and lighting their candle, giving everyone the ability to feel validated. And then secondarily is the mediumship, saying hello to the spirits around them, if the messages are helpful. So that's what I teach my students, and they all learn how to find their space first, so they know about their own energy, so that when we are looking at the reading screen, we're behind our own energy, and then we know we're separate from the person we're reading. So we don't feel like we're all mixed together and you think you're reading yourself. You actually know that you're here and they're over there, and now you can say hello to spirit. And actually, once you've found your space, it's much easier to say hello to disembodied spirits, spirits without bodies. Easier to say hello to them. Clairvoyant training is all about learning about all the metaphysical aspects of this human experience, spirit and human experience. Everywhere from what happens in our dreams, what happens past lives. I mean, a lot of my readings start when I go into someone's heart and I look at what is the God of their heart, what's their purpose. I see a past life right away, and I see all this power that they're ready to bring through. And once I've highlighted that, validated that, the person feels hopeful and ready to go, ready to make some changes right after the reading. And of course, some people get so excited they want to keep learning more tools and staying in this level of communication. It's a clairvoyant communication. We say what we see rather than feel or get or pick up. And we learn to communicate in this way that we're coming from up here neutral and giving a vision, offering visions, not advice or fortune telling. And you want to just keep doing it. And we've created a nice community where everybody gets this, likes to communicate on this level. So, like I said, angel cards and oracle cards are wonderful, but we always want to validate the person that's wanting the reading first. But for the purpose of big groups and everybody listening, an angel card reading, those can be very safe because they can be more general. Versus if it's a clairvoyant reading, it's best if you're all private and so that you can really hear things that are deep and true for you and you don't feel inhibited having an audience or other people listening. It often takes people by surprise how like a laser, a clairvoyant reading can be directly to something that you know has been there all along, but no one's seen it. And so a clairvoyant reading can be very powerful in that way. And so I would look forward to meeting a lot of you in a clairvoyant reading session. They're really amazing. And then I also have student readings where they're practicing reading clairvoyantly this way. And so we always need people to come and get a reading from the students on Saturdays and Tuesdays. So, very good. Well, it's good to see people coming in and getting to demonstrate the oracle card reading. And Eliza, thank you so much. She got these amazing cards today. They're the Ascended Master deck, but she is a teacher and she's teaching people to listen. She's a counselor, so she got some amazing things. And you're home today, Eliza, because you know you're releasing all the people, unplugging them, and getting your energy back because we get inundated. All right. Um, Wonderful. And I'm just going to play my sound bowl one more time because I like to emphasize that clairvoyance is all about the sixth chakra and the forehead. And this crystal sound bowl, if you take a deep breath and just let the sound bring all of your energy back up to your forehead. This is a place of neutrality and a place of vision and ability to create and manifest. And I thank you, everyone, for visiting me on Facebook Live. I had a spontaneous need to explain a clairvoyant reading versus an oracle card reading. So they're both wonderful. I like to integrate them both. All right, wonderful. Good, Eliza. Oh, good. And yes, I hope to see you again soon in person. And thanks everybody for joining in. I know it's in the middle of the afternoon, spontaneous. I'm doing Mondays at 8, Spirit to Spirit with Tori on Mondays at 8, and I'm also doing Fridays at 8. More people are able to join live in the evenings than during the day. So I'm doing that. And very nice to see all of you. And have a fantastic, oh, hi, Angie. Very nice to see all of you. And I will post my link to my website. It's toriquisling.com with more information about clairvoyance. I have a book called The Clairvoyant Practitioner, explaining clairvoyance. It's just a very powerful validation to spirit, and children need it too. And I can explain how we help children with that. They don't usually come to their own personal readings, but as parents, we get a reading about our children. So we get insights to help them. So I have a whole other learning and teaching about that. And so I have a lot of workshops every Tuesday, and they can be attended online. If you're staying home, we can attend online. I really look forward to seeing everybody. Yes, hi, Lauren. Hi, bye, Silvestro. All right, wonderful. Thanks for joining me. Thanks.